Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome to Let's Play 999. In the last episode we were starting off the game from the beginning again to find another ending, and I went through doors 5, 8, and 6. And because of that, a lot of new information has been revealed, and unfortunately some bad stuff has happened too, like Clover is dead. Which is really sad because we know we have proof now that Snake is alive, and we were gonna go tell her, and yeah, we found her dead, or Seven found her dead actually. So now we gotta figure out who killed her, and we have to go into door 5 to see the ninth man's remains. Maybe we'll find a clue there. Hopefully. All right, here we go. His lungs contracted, unwilling to inhale such fetid air? I've seen this word, I don't know how to pronounce it. Acid boiled up from the base of his stomach, turning what little food was there in a violent froth. Please don't be too graphic for me. It was too much for him, and he vomited. A thin stream of yellow water and bile spattered onto the floor. Ay, Dios mío. Why, game? Why? He wiped his mouth weakly and stared at the dead body. This episode might be long, by the way, because I'm trying to finish this. Chunks of torn flesh lay in an arc around the body. What remained of its intestines had slid out onto the floor. The pool of blood that framed it was half dry, but so thick that it had taken on a texture not all... Yeah, I can't read this no more. On the floor, next to the broken mask of the man's head, and these glasses cracked spidering across the lenses. Ugh. Alright. This is too gross for me, I'm sorry. That was when he noticed. It's gone. His bracelet. Aha! It's gone. You should have taken it when you went through door 5. It had been there when Junpei had gone through door 5 before. Now who took it, I wonder? He was sure of it. Right next to the glasses. But now, it was gone. The number 9 bracelet was gone. But why? Had someone taken it? Clearly! He was turning it over and over in his mind when he heard Seven's voice. Huh? Where'd Junpei go? It had drifted out to him from the living room. My wires are all tangled. Sorry. I'm a little distracted. But Junpei went out there, so... Oh, there you are. Were you looking for something in the hallway? You gonna tell him? Seven looked up. Did you find something? He thought for a moment before he responded. No, nothing. Liar! Technically, it wasn't a lie. Because he didn't find... he hadn't found anything. In a way, in fact, that was the problem. Why didn't you tell him? Something he expected to find hadn't been there, the ninth man's bracelet. What's up? Oh, well, I wanted you to take a look at something. What is it? These wires are way too tangled. Okay, I'll have to deal with this later. Seven led Junpei back to the bathroom. Stupid wires. Oh, Clover's corpse came into view. He felt his heart flip, then fall to the bottom of his stomach. Oh boy. Something between a sigh and a groan escaped his lips. What was it you wanted to show me? His voice was hollow and empty. I searched Clover's body again. I found this. As he spoke, he moved around Clover's head, then knelt down and flipped open her right hand. Oh, what? A clue! A clue! Sorry. She was holding a piece of paper. I haven't actually looked at it yet. See, he's sharing information. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know. Basic stuff. Well, I did borrow one thing. He wasn't sure what that meant, but it likely didn't matter. Yeah, what did you borrow? I'm curious. The paper was more important. We'll see. He picked it up and carefully opened it. Oh, wait, where's her bracelet? Maybe he took her bracelet. There were 2 sentences written on it. Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Ah, I remember this. Ah, now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand. Interesting. What is this? Clearly it's a riddle. Some kind of secret code? Seven peered over Junpei's shoulder at the note. Junpei stepped away from Clover's body and into the living room. He began to pace, attempting to decode the note. I like when Junpei's smart. The first clue was likely the phrase sinister hand. Sinister hand means... it means the left hand! Sinister was a term used in heraldry that meant to the left of the bearer of a coat of arms. I didn't know that. I just knew that sinister meant left because of piano and something else. I forgot what. The left hand. I forgot what the right hand. The left hand. What did the left hand mean? Junpei looked at his own left arm. Ah, at the bracelet on his wrist. Did the darkness of the sinister hand have something to do with the bracelet? It has to. He examined the bracelet closely. I'm surprised you guys haven't done this before. There were 2 protrusions on either side of the face. The left and right sides of the face. Left and right. Left and right. Right and left. Truth is gone. Gone. It sounded funny. What did it mean? I like this. This is smart. I like this kind of stuff. Truth. Gone. Maybe those 2 words. What else could they mean? Reading them backwards? No. No. Yeah, the only thing is what else could they mean? Switching them doesn't matter, and reading them backwards doesn't make sense, so... Alright. What else could they mean? I think I already know. And that's without me looking at Pharaoh's LP, because I don't remember the details, I just remember this poem. Truth, of course, meant something that was correct, something that was fact. In other words, something that was right. Nice. It would follow then that gone meant left. After all, after someone left, they were gone. In this case, however, they clearly refer to their directional homonyms. I love the English language sometimes. So that means truth equals right, gone equals left. That seemed to make sense. I prefer this kind of puzzle rather than math stuff. Junpei looked at the bracelet again. At the 2 protrusions on the left and right of the face. Junpei pressed them in the following order. Okay, truth had gone, so right, left, right, left, right, left. Right, left. Oh, there it is. Right? Truth had gone, truth had gone. Yeah. I'm glad they didn't mix that up. And then... Oh. Numbers! Wait, let me write this down. Please repeat that. I saw 1, 4, one after another 8 numbers flashed on, then off of the face of Junpei's bracelet. Wait, let me write it down. Por favor. Okay. I'm writing down the ones I remember, but I hope they let me redo it, because I need to see it again. Okay. One more time. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. Thank you. Thank you, game. I really appreciate that. Huh? Hey, what are those numbers? Junpei didn't answer. Come on, why are you being such a douche? He couldn't answer. He had no idea what they were either. Dude, there's a safe right behind you. Come on. Besides, he was sure he would forget the numbers and the order they came in if he said anything. Oh, that's true. He doesn't have a pen and paper, so he has to keep saying it. 14383421 14383421 14383421. Muttering the numbers to himself over and over, Junpei headed toward the bedroom. 14383421 14383421. Yeah, I got it. 143834 oh, yep, 21. Yep, keep saying it, buddy. 14383421. Before long, he found himself in front of the safe again. Its lock was the only device he could think of that required a sequence of numbers such as the ones he'd just discovered. 14383421. Okay. Besides, someone had opened the safe at least once already. Had Clover come to the bedroom to open it? But doesn't that mean that whatever was in it is gone? That's what I'm worried about. Junpei slowly dialed in the numbers the bracelet had given him. Excuse me. 1 to the right, 4 to the left, 3 to the right, 8 to the left, 3 to the right, 4 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Finished. Junpei heard the small telltale sound of the lock opening. He grabbed the handle, took a deep breath, and pulled it up. Please let it still... Oh, yes, it's in there. Inside was a piece of paper. It was roughly the same size as the one Clover had been holding. All right. Junpei picked it up. This is what it said. Fact number 1. The nonary game was played once before, 9 years ago. Fact number 2. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. Okay, we already knew this. Whatever. Give me something new, please. Fact number 3. It was planned by the following 4 people. Ooh, here we go. Cradle Pharmaceutical CEO. Gentaro Hongo. Cradle Pharmaceutical Chief of Staff. Nagisa Nijisaki. Cradle Pharmaceutical R&D Supervisor. Teruaki Kubota. Majority shareholder in Cradle Pharmaceutical. Kagechika Musashiro. I must punish them for the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved, I now state the truth. 0. Ooh. We know that Ace is a bad boy now, and we know his real name. Junpei left the closet. There were 5 people waiting for him in the bedroom. Ace, Lotus, Santa, 7, and June. He looked at each one of them in turn, then slowly placed his hands in the pockets of his vest. He didn't even show nobody. Sorry, but do you think you could all come with me? Is there a reason you're leaving the room? Come with you. I want all of you to go to the big hospital room. Is there a reason for you going there? Why? There's something I want to be sure of. What do you want to be sure of? I want to know if the person I suspect is really the culprit. I think we know who it is now. Wait, then you're saying... Yeah, I think I've got it figured out. I know who killed Snake and Clover. The atmosphere in the room changed. Grief was suddenly gone, replaced by attention like a strap of leather stretched to its limit. But I don't know, it's so weird still. 5 sets of eyes stared at Junpei. He pretended not to notice. Anyway, if you could all please move to the big hospital room. I'll explain everything as soon as we get there. Then, almost as if on cue, the bell began to ring. You're running out of time! They all heard it. It was the bell from the clock in the main staircase. Oh man. And this is kind of weird, like sometimes I I don't know. Oh, my dog. The bell rang 5 times then ceased. Are you okay? I hear you hacking over there. It was 5 o'clock. They had only an hour left. We don't have a lot of time left. Let's go. Slowly, one by one, they followed Junpei out of the bedroom. Because we saw an ending where Clover was bad. Then we saw an ending where Santa was bad. So now Ace seems to be the bad guy. So it's weird. Actually, before we get started, I was hoping you could do something for me. Junpei stopped in front of door 3 and turned around. Ace, 7, and Lotus, could you please place your palms on the red? Huh? Why? If we need to get to the shower room, why don't we just... No, we're not going inside. Thank goodness. Once you've authenticated, step away from the door. Why? Please, just do it. Or perhaps you don't want to know who killed Snake and Clover? Junpei's implication was clear, and 7 understood perfectly. Ugh, fine. What about you, Ace? Lotus? Very well. Sure. Alright. At least it's not going to be like before, when we were a douche. Quickly, they pressed their palms onto the red. Once they had finished, they stepped away from the door as Junpei had instructed. 3 asterisks. I cannot say that word, shown from the red's display panel. Junpei approached it and held his bracelet over the scanner. He made quite sure he didn't place his palm on it and only brought his bracelet near it. Ah, the 4th asterisk appeared. Just as Junpei had expected, it was possible to authenticate without placing one's palm on the red, so long as the bracelet was brought near it. Alright, Junpei pulled the lever down. And it worked. Door 3 opened like a hungry mouth. 9 long seconds passed. And the door shut, unfed. You've eaten enough of us. Junpei walked slowly back to the others who were waiting some distance from the door, talking to one another. They're probably saying, what's up with this guy? Santa and June had joined them as well. It looked as though they hadn't found a chance to break into the conversation yet. As Junpei approached, they turned to look at him, curiosity plain on their faces. Before long, the other 3 did as well. Clearly, they were all expecting some answers. Thanks. I appreciate your cooperation. Clearly, they'd hoped for something more forthcoming. He's so cool! He's like so nonchalant about it. He continued, By the way, Ace, would you mind if I asked you something? What is it? Do you know who I am? What? What kind of question? Uh-oh. Just answer it, please. Who am I? You're Junpei, of course. Who else would you be? Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. What? Actually, I'm Santa.
What?
They're all like, what? Ace's voice was full of surprise, but it was also tinged with confusion and fear. Everyone else looked nearly as surprised. Santa looked especially shocked to discover he was actually someone else. What the hell? If he spoke, however, the trap would be exposed. Junpei quickly continued. Did he change his voice? The clothes I'm wearing, I borrowed from Junpei. And the clothes he's wearing are mine. But their voices! We had a little swap.
That's ridiculous. Impossible.
So you're saying I'm not Santa?
Of course you aren't.
Why? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa?
If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now.
Yeah, that equals 19, and yeah, but
The digital route would be 1. But the 4 of us just opened door 3. You can't possibly be Santa. Your bracelet number isn't 3.
it's 5, right? Ace? Only then, when it was too late, did Ace realize his mistake. Excuse me, burping. He set his jaw and glared at Junpei. You're exactly right. My bracelet number is 5. As he spoke, Junpei lifted his wrist up to show everyone the bright red 5 on his wrist. It's actually blue, though. The bracelet's red. Sorry, Ace. I tricked you. Nice going, Junpei. Of course, I'm not really Santa. I'm Junpei. Who else could possibly think I was? It's obvious I'm not. To think I was... ridiculous. But I guess you couldn't see just how obvious it was. Oh boy. I asked you before, didn't I? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa? And you answered, if you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. Yep. Most people wouldn't say something like that. As their justification for why I'm not Santa, I mean. The first thing that would come to anyone else's mind wouldn't be the bracelet number. There'd only be one thing they'd say. One sentence. You don't have his face. Or, more likely, you don't look like Santa. Ace, you have prosopagnosia. Am I right? Junpei's voice was quiet and calm. He knew the truth. So did Ace. He could hear a sudden buzz of conversation from the others.
Prosopagnosia?
What's that? He heard Lotus begin to explain it to them. Ace glanced at them, then turned back toward Junpei and sighed.
Very well. I confess, I have prosopagnosia. I cannot differentiate human faces.
Only human?
Is that what this was about? You want to mock me for my disorder?
No, not at all. I'm not making fun of you at all. In fact, I feel kind of bad for you. No, the reason I brought this up is that there's an excellent chance the person who killed Snake has prosopagnosia. Huh. Ace's face tightened, his eyes narrowed.
What do you mean?
Junpei leaned casually against the iron piping of one of the beds. He's so badass right now. I'll just come right out with it. I think it was you, Ace. You killed him. Junpei was suddenly very aware of 5 pairs of eyes on him. He had their undivided attention now. He's such a showman, isn't he? The room had grown very, very quiet. Junpei took a deep breath.
That's ridiculous. What possible evidence do you...
I have 3 pieces of evidence. The first, think back to a few hours ago. You made us argue over the 3 doors here in the big hospital room. Mm-hmm. There was no way all 7 people could go through them. Lotus suggested that we sacrifice one of us. Lotus looked away awkwardly. Yeah, you're a witch. Junpei glanced at her and continued. Then you, Ace, said, I'll stay here. Why would you say something like that? It's pretty simple, really. You didn't want us to see the dead body in the shower room. You see, if Ace stayed behind, there were only 2 doors the rest of us could go through. Oh, doors 7 and 8. There was no way we could get through door 3, the shower room. You knew that, didn't you, Ace? That's why you volunteered to stay behind.
Come on now, I think that's going a bit far. I can understand if you're jealous of my bravery, but please don't devalue my actions. I only wanted to save the rest of you. Surely you can understand my altruism.
Altruism, huh? Junpei stared off into the darkness at something very interesting and lazily began to dig a persistent bit of wax out of his ear. That's such an anime action, I swear. He's acting all tough and cool. You already knew, didn't you? You knew that whichever doors we took, eventually we'd end up back in the big hospital room.
What on earth are you saying? Of course I didn't know that. How could I have?
Really?
Yes, yes.
Pleading was not something they'd heard from Ace before. Junpei pulled a piece of wax from his ear, glanced at it, and flicked it off into the darkness. Ah, well, that's cool. I've still got 2 more pieces of evidence that say you're the killer. The second is that, as I said earlier, you have prosopagnosia.
Then you mean to imply that a person who can't distinguish human faces must be a bad person? Junpei, they call that prejudice.
No, I'm not that stupid.
Then why?
Well, before I explain, I suppose there's something I should tell you. The corpse in the shower room. It's not Snake's.
What?
Uh-huh. Ace's face went pale. The others looked confused as well. If the body wasn't Snake's... I didn't put it together right away, but there was something Clover told me. She said that Snake's left arm was prosthetic. He'd lost his real arm in an accident. But the body we saw in the shower room, let's call him Guy X. Guy X's left arm was definitely flesh and blood. In other words, Guy X couldn't possibly have been Snake.
Oh God. No, that's impossible.
Ace had started muttering deliriously to himself, shaking his head back and forth. Uh-oh, he's losing it! Junpei was long past caring. Let's say, hypothetically, that the killer didn't have prosopagnosia. If that were the case, he would immediately realize that Guy X wasn't Snake. Even if the clothes were the same as Snake's, their faces would be completely different. It would have been obvious they were different people. And yet, they still killed him. Why? Why would they kill a stranger who'd only just shown up? On the other hand, if the killer did have prosopagnosia, it makes sense. They thought Guy X was Snake and killed him.
Wait, just a moment. Let's say you're right and I mistook Guy X for Snake. Even if I did, I would have had no motive to kill him. Why would I want to kill Snake?
I can think of at least 2 motives. 1, Snake knew about your past. If he ever revealed what he knew, that would have been really bad for you. You really didn't want that to happen. So, to make sure Snake's mouth stayed shut, you killed him. 2, Snake had a grudge against you. You knew that, or at least you could have easily assumed he did. Even without exposing your identity, he was a threat to you. You never knew when you might be attacked. You could never let your guard down. Every moment was a moment he might try something. You didn't want that kind of danger hanging over you, so you... Hey, hold on a minute. For the first time since the beginning of Junpei's explanation, someone besides Ace spoke. What's the past that Ace wouldn't want us to know? Why did Snake have a grudge against him? Look at this. He handed Santa a small piece of paper. Let me guess, the one from the safe. Santa squinted at the paper and began to read. The nonary game was played once before 9 years ago. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. It was planned by the following 4 people. Here we go. Gentaro Hongo, blah blah blah. What is this? Slowly, Santa looked up from the paper. His eyes met Junpei's. It's the message from Zero. It was in the safe in the first-class cabin. Then, suddenly... Uh-oh. Give me a break. Ace's face was red and shaking, and his voice was full of fury tinged with desperation. That paper is a lie. Someone is trying to frame me. Me? You said me, right? He's such a dumbass. Junpei's eyes narrowed and the trap began to close. Ace inhaled sharply. His eyes flicked off of Junpei to something, anything else. Wouldn't that mean that you're admitting you're Hongo, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical? Or am I mistaken? It was as though a switch had been flipped. The color drained from Ace's face, and as he realized what he'd done, his eyes went wide. Very well, I admit that much. I am certainly the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical, Gentaro Hongo. So what if I am? I don't know anything about this nonary game that supposedly took place 9 years ago. Everything on that scrap of paper is bullshit. Someone is trying to set me up, you see. First of all, Ace stammered as he tried desperately to work himself to a more tenable position. Junpei, you're claiming I did all this by myself. Think that over, all right? How could I have killed Snake all by myself? Not Snake. It was Guy X. This is like logic chess. I don't care who it was. You said the killer put this other man into door 3, right? Yeah, maybe. Then I couldn't have possibly done that alone. I couldn't have opened door 3 with only myself and Guy X. Nope, you could have. Everybody's freaking out. What? Ace's face was tight and his teeth were clenched. Junpei fixed him with a level stare. He's keeping it cool. The trap was about to close. Actually, Ace, when you were unconscious, I took something from you. Remember when you were injected with that anesthetic and fell asleep in the big hospital room? Yeah, back then. I took this. Junpei put his hand into his pocket. Uh-oh. No, you couldn't have. Ace's right hand moved. Junpei smiled. I got you, Ace. Your right hand there tells me all I needed to know. You want to tell me what you were so worried about? What's in your pocket? It's the number 9 bracelet, isn't it? Ace, Guy X, and the 9th man's bracelet. That was all you needed to open door 3. Yep, there we go. That's how you killed Guy X all by yourself, Ace. All you needed was the number 9 bracelet in your chest pocket. Ace lowered his hand from where it had stopped halfway to his pocket. We got him now. He looked down at the floor, his face hidden from Junpei. All he could see was the corner of Ace's mouth twitching like a dying fish. Ooh, if you want to play innocent, that's fine by me. Go ahead. Tell me I don't have the bracelet, if that's what you want to do. But if you could take off your coat and hand it to me, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll have to take it from you by force. Right, Seven?
Yeah, it'd be my pleasure.
Seven cracked his knuckles with a sound like gunfire. Uh-oh. Ace roared with laughter. He threw his arms wide and his head back and laughed, filling the room with a sound that scarcely belonged there. Uh-oh. Then it stopped. Oh, so we're going to leave this episode right here, guys. Thank you so much for watching and hanging in there for a long one. And then the next time, hopefully we'll end this storyline. All right? So until next time, hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.